Hi, my name is Madison, and I'm an econ student at Mercer University. And oh, awesome! So I'm gonna be a little bit mean for a second, okay? So, um, so you're arguably the candidate with the greatest advantage in this race. You've been the vice president. You weren't burdened down by the impeachment trials. So, or in the participation. So, how do you explain the performance in Iowa, and why should the voters believe that you can win the national election?
It's a good question. Number one, Iowa's a Democratic caucus. You ever been to a caucus? No, you haven't. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. You said you were, but now you got to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you. It was a little bit confusing in Iowa. Number one. But let's assume it.
How's it yanging, all of you lion dog-faced pony soldiers? I mean, dudes and dudettes. Oh my god, go ahead, smack some gravy on this one. This was necessarily not about covering Andrew Yang, but I definitely think that this will help Andrew Yang, because the more and more Joe Biden comes out with stuff like this, oh, guys, this is just, I don't know. I don't know if we this poor person, you know what I mean? Like, you guys gotta put some mashed taters on this game. You guys share this video, you know what I'm saying? One gravy equals one like, one taters equals one share. I mean, it's that simple, because people like stuff like this is crazy. You know, I love poking fun at the mainstream media. You guys know this. That's what we do on this channel, but he really does it to himself. Like, what in the world? What would possess him to say that? Why would you just point your finger at somebody and say you're lying? How do you not? There's plenty of people in Iowa doing the caucusing. Why would you say that she's not one of them? There's so many young people. Look at Kai. He's first time voter, right? First time voter, young, and that is just horrible that he would do that. I mean, he's been in the past saying, you know, calling that one guy fat, and then other times he would, you know, tell people not to vote for him, vote for other people. Like, oh my god, I think we'll have to take your word for that and actually do that. So, the college student was branded a lying dog-faced pony soldier by Joe Biden on Monday, that being on the receiving end of a dig from the former vice president was humiliating. I can imagine that it was. That's horrible. Like, why would you do that in front of a crowd? You just look at her face back there. That is just horrible. She just looks like, you know, like a blank stare of death. Like, I can't believe you just said that. Madison Moore, 21, told the Macon Telegraph that for people to wave off the bizarre jibe as a joke was kind of insulting. It was kind of humiliating to be called a liar on national TV about a former vice president. Instead of answering the question straightforward, his immediate response was to attempt to invalidate me by exposing my inexperience. The Mercer University economics student was at New Hampshire campaign event on Sunday with a school trip when she asked the Democratic presidential hopeful about the viability of his campaign given his fourth place standing in the Iowa caucus. Now, here's the thing. Even if she hasn't, and she just, in the media, is like, have you ever been to a caucus? She's like, yeah, you know what I mean? Or even if you just, yes, I have been, or really you haven't, because you're, you know, in the middle of the spotlight, you know, being called on. Why would you just be like, you're a liar? And even if you haven't ever been to a caucus, people know what a caucus is. We have Google, you know what I mean? People can see the process take place. You can Google past caucuses. There's YouTube, you know, like, it's just weird for Joe Biden to even, it's just sad, man. And he has so many of these hiccups. Like, I don't even know if they're called hiccups at this point. It's just, he's from a different time. You know what I mean? He's just from a different time, and stuff that, you know, he does off the cuff that might be okay 40 years ago. It's just not the case nowadays. It's just weird, you know? It just comes off as jarring a lot of the time. So Biden responded, "Iowa's a caucus. Have you ever been to a caucus?" And she nodded yes. And Biden retorted, "No, you haven't. You're a lion dog-faced pony soldier." Like, what? Oh, drawing laughter from the crowd, which is probably even more disheartening. More Fernanda Beach, Florida, said she was nervous when Biden asked if she'd been to a caucus, and nodded yes, she hasn't been to a caucus, but said she felt that it was irrelevant to her question. He has been performing extremely poorly in the race, and the fact that he couldn't have just straight answered my question without bullying me or intimidating just exasperates that fact. Damn, she's coming in hard on Biden, ain't she? Okay, I am 21-year-old college student. Like, what the hell do I know? Who cares who I am? My experience, just answer the damn question, right? So, Biden has used the phrase before, and his campaign maintains that it's from a John Wayne movie. Okay, maybe it is, but you think a 21-year-old college student is going to get that reference? Most likely not. Not very many young people know who John Wayne is, okay? So anyways, during a 2018 rally for the Senator Heidi Heitkamp, Biden said, here's a... That's one hell of a name. Heitkamp, okay. There's a line in a John Wayne movie. Okay, yeah, we get a line. Facebook. Okay. Which is, wow, that's even kind of racist. If it's towards the Indian chief, turns to John Wayne and says, this is a lying dog-faced pony soldier. Oh, no, the chief turns to John Wayne and says, okay, never mind. My bad. Continuing on. But the 77-year-old may be conflating lines from several films. The phrase dog-faced soldiers appears in 1994 John Wayne film where she wore a yellow ribbon, according to Slate. Why does it even matter? He shouldn't be doing that. And this is not the first time... Get this out of here. This is not the first time Biden has put his foot in his mouth on the campaign trail. In December, he called 83-year-old Iowa farmer Gorman a damn liar for accusing him of selling access to Ukraine. Well, it's what happened. You literally told them that if you will not get money to fund your war against Russia if you don't do this, and also put my son on the board. That's what happened. The same thing they're trying to accuse, pretty much the same thing they're accuse Trump of with the impeachment that he got acquitted for, like everybody knew was going to happen. This is the reason why Andrew Yang needs to be president, because like he says, everybody is all about, just wanting to be, number one. They're just wanting to be, I just want to be president. The reason why Bernie caved to Hillary in the first time is because he just wants to be president this time. He hoped the establishment would, have his back and be like, oh, okay, I guess he's playing ball. That's all that it is. And Yang actually just wants to help people. He wants to help people. He wants to put $1,000 in your hands, which would not only put money back into the economy, but it would give so many Americans, access to so many more options. They would be able to put money in their back pockets. They'll be able to, invest in businesses, create businesses, do startup things, buy houses. That would really fix so many things. Their depression from monetary stress would go completely down. There's so many factors that $1,000 in your hand. Look, $250 a month, you can have the highest quality healthcare that insurance is allowed to provide for you. That simple. You know what I mean? And if you can't afford that, even with $1,000 a month, there's Obamacare. It's free. You can get on it. You know what I mean? Like, there's $1,000 a month that helps so many. Yes, Medicare for all might. It'll help 40,000 people. Who needs immediate Medicare. That $1,000 do the same thing, and then some, and then so much more. Before I ever started YouTube and made any sort of money on YouTube, I was living. I was successful. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm fine. But I wouldn't have qualified for food stamps, even though, I might have $40 to my name at the end of all my bills, right? And I have to make $40 last for food over, of course, 2 weeks. So when I was younger and, was working minimum wage, I still wouldn't have qualified for food stamps. If I had an extra $1,000 a month, that would completely, it would fix everything. So, I don't know, guys. Just think about this kind of stuff. This is the reason why Joe Biden, hopefully this kind of stuff will just tank him in the polls and people will look at the options who... Maybe he was thinking Joe Biden because of the experience, and maybe not necessarily Bernie. Definitely not Pete Buttigieg, and probably not. Maybe now it's between Warren, Klobuchar, and Yang. Maybe they'll start looking at Yang. You know what I'm saying? So we got another day before the New Hampshire, before the DNC comes in and rigs New Hampshire. So we'll see what happens with that. So just keep this kind of stuff in mind going forward, because stuff like this is not looking good for Joe Biden, and it only looks better for Yang when that kind of stuff happens. So anyways, that's all I got for you guys. I'm glad you guys stuck around, and I will have more updates on Yang and everything else coming up tomorrow. So guys, stay tuned for that.